How is it going, guys? Welcome to FafNir Guide. Today's guide is about Floowandereeze. It's a quite simple deck to play, but it's a very fragile to one hand trap if not played properly. So, I'm gonna guide you on how to play Floowandereeze safely. Here's the deck list that I used. So let's talk about hand traps first. The hand traps that I use is actually unnecessary and making the deck expensive. You can just use typical hand trap like other deck. It will make deck less expensive. Just use 3S, 2 to 3 maxi and it's fine. But with Small World, you better add at least one effect failure, one yugioh material into the deck. If you have an extra or unused S Blossom in your hand, you can use it as a Small World material, bridge it with failure to add any level 1 Floowandereeze from your deck. Same goes for maxi using yugioh material. But keep in mind that Dimension Shifter and maxi and also Veiler conflicting each other. Once you activate Shifter, you cannot use your maxi or Veiler until the end of the next turn, because both cards are required to send to the graveyard to activate its effect, while Shifter are locking the graveyard. But the good thing is, Shifter is actually buffing S Blossom, because S Blossom only required to be discarded, its effect will still be activated even though it's sent to be banished instead of graveyard, making Called by the Grave cannot negate S Blossom since it's already banished. Same goes for yugioh material. Alright, that's all for the hand traps. If I explain all of them, it's gonna be a waste of time, so you better read it by yourself. Let's talk about Floowandereeze cards. This deck is all about normal summoning, tribute summoning, so you will not do any special summon. It will lock you to its way. If you do special summon once, for the whole turn you cannot activate any Floowandereeze effects. Same goes the other way. If you activate Floowandereeze effects, you cannot special summon for the whole turn. So, maxi is useless against this deck. If you are maxi haters like me, you better play this deck. There's a way to torture your opponent with their own maxi. I'm gonna show you in this combo section. This deck will have 5 Floowandereeze monsters: Robina, Eglin, Stree, Tuken, Ampen. Boss monster. There is also another boss monster which is Null. It's an ultra rare card and even have a summon animation. Just the effect is bad for the current meta of link summoning, so Ampen is enough. I'll explain it why in the combo section. On summon, Robina will add any other level 4 or lower wing beast from deck. Eglin will add any level 7 or higher wing beast from deck. Stree will banish one card from any graveyard. Tuken will add one banished Floowandereeze card to your hand. Ampen will add one Floowandereeze spell or trap card from deck. And if all the trigger effects resolve successfully, you will get an extra normal summon that you can choose to use it or not. This will cause a chain reaction where all of the Floowandereeze combo has to be done in one move. Once the chain broke, then you're done. If one of the Floowandereeze effect is negated or is not resolved properly, you won't get any extra normal summon afterwards. So, use the resource carefully. All level 1 Floowandereeze have a secondary effects whenever they leave the field, either tributed, destroyed, return to hand, return to deck, it will be banished instead. If another wing beast monster is summoned while they are banished, they have another trigger effects to return to your hand. This is the loop gameplay of Floowandereeze. You will still have plenty of resources for the next turn. And here are the Floowandereeze spell and trap we use: Unexplored Wind, Magnificent Map, and Dreaming Town. Unexplored Wind is a continuous spell that has 2 effects on it. The most important one is the first effect. After you tribute summon that requires 2 tribute, you can tribute one of your monster, one of your opponent's card on the field, including spell and trap. Since this is a summon, not an effect that summon, your opponent will not be able to respond to it. Alright, the rest I'm gonna explain it in the combo section, which we now gonna dive into. Here is the one card first turn bread and butter combo. I'm just gonna use Robina and ignore the other cards. Summon Robina, search Aglin, summon Aglin, search Ampen. Ampen will require 2 tributes, tribute Robina and Aglin. Ampen is chainlink 1 and Aglin is chainlink 2. These are called chain blocking, like previous guide that I made before. So, S Blossom and other non-targeted negate will not be able to negate Ampen effects. And we will gonna leave Robina banished, so we can still chain blocking on opponent's turn. And Ampen will add Dreaming Town. If you have Dreaming Town already in your hand, then you can add Unexplored Wind instead. Set Dreaming Town, and with this, the first turn bread and butter combo is done, and we can end phase there. Before we continue, Ampen has a lingering effects. It's basically a skill drain for special summon attack position monster. So if you're playing against this deck and want to special summon monsters, summon it in defense position. But what if you want to summon a Link monsters? Since Link monster can only be summoned to attack position, Ampen will become a nightmare for them. So, Link based deck like Evil Twin, B-Trooper, Sky Striker, even Hulkiton combo, removing or negating Ampen is their #1 priority before they make a move. So, I'm gonna show you how to counter the counterplay. In the next turn, let's say your Ampen is getting Imperm, or Dark Ruler no more, or even Forbidden Droplet. I usually wait until they summon monsters, so we know what the deck that we are playing against. If your opponent is about to summon monster like this, we know they're gonna summon Hulky Fibers, which is a Link monsters. So, before that, activate Dreaming Town, summon Aglin, chain block again by Robina. Robina will back to hand, and add another Ampen from deck. And then immediately summon the Ampen by tributing the negated Ampen and Aglin. Chain block again by Aglin, Aglin back to hand, and add Magnificent Man. Since I'm already have it in my hand, I add another cards instead. And we are not done here. We can still summon Robina. And in here, Robina is vulnerable to S Blossom because we cannot chain block anymore. So if it's resolved, then we can add Stormwind and summon it. With this, we have 2 Floodgates monster on the field on our opponent's turn. And that's how you bread and butterly torture your opponents with this deck. We have 2-card bread and butter first turn combo. It requires Robina and Aglin on hand. Since we already have Aglin, we add Stormwind instead, and just continue like the first combo. When Ampen asks to normal summon, we can normal summon the Stormwind. With this, we have 2 Floodgate monsters that our opponents need to deal with on our first turn. There is also a longer version which utilizing token that also lead up to the full end board. Next, we have Bread and Butter Magnificent Map plus Robina combo. At this point, we're just doing the same combo as the previous 2-card combo, so you will have the same end board. What I want to show here, there's a way to check what is our opponent's hand trap. And if you have either Book of Moon or Prohibition or Cold by the Grave on your hand, I suggest do it this way when you do the map plus Robina combo. As you know, if you use map effects to normal summon, it doesn't consume our normal summon token. So we still can normal summon after we do this combo. In here, we make Eglin as Chainlink 1 and Robina as Chainlink 2. So if there's a response, it either Ash Blossom, Imperm, or Veiler could be Maxi, but we don't care about it. Usually, people want to negate Eglin instead of Robina if they check that we still have our normal summon token. So they will let us pass, and Eglin will be added to the hand. And lastly, if there's no more response after all of this resolve, then it's a confirm Ash Blossom. So we can just activate Prohibition and declare Ash Blossom, or just activate Cold by the Grave, banish it. And summon Eglin and finish the combo. And that's what DK call it
legally cheating
in Master Duel. Yeah, you can't do that in TCG. Next combo is how to use Book of Moon in this deck. Book of Moon can be really useful when going first, but don't forget that we can use it as staples when going second. If your opponents negate our Robina with Imperm or Veiler, we can just chain Book of Moon, target our Robina, and we are dodging the Imperm effects. The difference is when Robina tributed, it will send to graveyard instead of banish, and become a dead card there. At least we can still get our end board. The next combo is map plus token plus anti-hand traps. Reveal token, banish Robina. In here, Robina is Chainlink 1 and token as Chainlink 2. We do this because this combo is very vulnerable to hand traps, especially Imperm or Veiler. If he Imperm our token, we still can get our Robina and use our normal summon token. If he didn't Imperm, then we kinda screw that if we don't have anti-hand traps on our hands. So our opponent's gonna Imperm Robina after, and we chain it with Book of Moon and target our Robina, and it will dodge Imperm effects and continue the combo. The next combo is map plus Eglin combo. If you manage to have a map on your hand and also small world but not anti-hand traps, I suggest you search Eglin instead of Robina as your starters. I'll show you why. reveal Eglin, banish Robina, chain blocking, Robina to hand, add Ampen, and summon Robina. If Robina negated by Ash Blossom, then later we still can use our normal summon to summon Ampen. Chain blocking, Eglin to hand, and add Dreaming Town. And here we are back to 1-card combo and board. The next combo, I call it Shifter Lock combo. As usual, we're just gonna do the setup for 1-card combo, but now we chain Dimension Shifter before any card sent to the graveyard, because Shifter can only activate if there's no card in your graveyard. So we just do the usual combo until the end board. And usually, opponents that use graveyard as part of their combo just set and pass the turn. So before the end of main phase, activate Dreaming Town, add Raiza, and get 2 monsters on the field. When summoning Raiza, there's a prompt where you can actually summon this card with 1 tribute, but we don't want to do that. Click no, and then yes. Tribute Eglin and Robina, and Raiza has an effect to return 1 card on the field to the top of the deck, and 1 card from any graveyard to the top of the deck. So we target the set trap card, and then our Shifter from graveyard. Since Raiza is tributing a wind monster before, we have an extra effect to return 1 card on field back to the hand. We target the set monster instead. End phase, and the next turn we will get our Shifter back. You can activate it right away, since our graveyard is still empty. And there you go, a Dimension Shifter lock for 4 turns. And you can do the same thing to our opponent's Maxi in the graveyard. You return that to the top of their deck, and the next turn he will draw that Maxi. Those are the combo that I can share off. If I'm missing something in the combo section, please let us know in the comment. Next is tips and tricks. Magnificent Map. Map have a secondary effect. Whenever you open a normal summon a monster, you can chain it and normal summon your Floowandereeze monster from hand. It's just like extra Dreaming Town. Dreaming Town. It also has a secondary effect. When in the graveyard, whenever you tribute summon a level 7 or higher, it will trigger its effect in graveyard to banish itself and flip all of your opponent's current monster on the field to face down. Token. When activating map effects, you can also banish Floowandereeze spell or trap card from deck. If you have Token in your hand, you can grab that banish card when it's summoned. Harpy Feather Storm. It's basically the next level skill drain. Dark Simurgh. It's searchable by Eglin, and it's a good side decking card if you keep matchup against Trapper deck. As long as it's face up on the field, your opponent can set cards. So that's all the tips and tricks that I can give. And here are the small world cheat sheet that's gonna be useful for you. So that's all for the guide. I hope you learned something new. And if you found something wrong in my guide, please let us know in the comment. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it to your friends. And have a nice day.